So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
Right now at 9, former President Donald Trump accepts the Republican Party's nomination for president, his speech marking the inflection point of the Republican National Convention.
It was his first public speech since Saturday's attempted assassination, which he emotionally recounted there during that speech.
And the Arizona delegation was representing tonight on the floor of the Pfizer Forum. The large crowd gathering to support the former president in this election, and cheering as he described his policies, including his vision to secure our southern border.
And John Hook has been in Milwaukee all week, all leading up to this very night. So, John, what did it feel like to be in the room during this speech? It was about an hour and a half long. It's a giant party behind you.
Yeah, Christine and Mark, it was long, and it was also a different Donald Trump out there. It took him about halfway through the speech to kind of get his footing in terms of the old Donald Trump, who was so fiery and defiant usually at his rallies. This had a far different, much more somber tone. He was reflective, gave a very touching tribute to the firefighter husband, father, killed at his rally. What was so interesting is, Donald Trump is 78 years old. And I got the feeling that that shooting and near-death experience in Pennsylvania on Saturday took a lot out of him. His voice was thin at times. He didn't have quite the power. He was much more thoughtful. He talked about love and God a lot in this speech. These are things that you don't hear Donald Trump talk about a lot. Here's more of what
to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people, at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that. This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again. Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. We will return law and order to our streets, patriotism to our schools, and importantly, we will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before.
The most touching part of the night was going over to the turnouts of the firefighter who died at his rally on Saturday, kissing the helmet and the turnouts of that firefighter who lost his life at a Trump rally. This was a really interesting speech because it kind of harkened back to Reagan. He is making the case, Trump is, that the country was better off under his stewardship. He talked about the border. He talked about building the economy back up that he thinks has been torn down. He only mentioned Joe Biden by name one time, and I think it was a mistake. It wasn't in the prompter. I think he's just by rote. He's done it so many times on the stump, he did it by accident and caught himself. He said, I'll say it one time and I won't say it again. He tried to kind of bridge a divide, but he's drawing clear lines between where he wants to take the country and where he thinks this administration has taken it that he thinks is not a positive direction. It might as well have been, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And I think that's kind of the bottom line of the message. So we'll see how it plays out, because I think now we may see a completely different opponent by week's end. It's very possible. A lot of reporting tonight that Joe Biden may be exiting the race. We'll have to see. But here in Milwaukee, the Republicans feel they did what they had to do. Donald Trump made his points, and even though I don't think he was at 100%, frankly, because of Saturday, he delivered what he had to.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see him. You know, his demeanor was different, his tone. He sounded lighter when he was telling that story. We don't see him speak like that.
No. I think that event changed him, and that's what everybody around him said, that brush with death was a moment. And I think, you know, we talked about, is this Trump 2.0? He was a little bit more accommodating to the whole country and not so divisive in the rhetoric tonight. And there was a lot of thankfulness that he's even here.
John Hook, great job out there in Milwaukee. Thank you for that tonight, and we'll see you back here in Phoenix soon.